Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Yes, as Fonda points out in the chat, I've already been going for 4 hours. Live on 1210 WPHT this morning with Nick and Anna. Anna Hummel. Yes. Did a fantastic job. Everyone did well this morning. A lot of fun. Went by like this. So we're now here for hour 5 in a row, live on Rumble, live on LFA TV, on X as well. Hopefully you enjoy this interview that we've got. Great guest that we were able to get together with and bring to you today on the topic of debanking. You may have heard of Old Glory Bank, founded by the great John Rich, the great Larry Elder, the great Governor Fallon, the great Dr. Ben Carson, and headed up by co-founder and president and CEO of Old Glory Bank, the great Mike Ring. Now, I'm going to tell you this going into the interview. First of all, the interview itself is pre-recorded, okay? Because it just worked out better that way this week. But this is not your cookie cutter, run-of-the-mill, kind of, it's a banking finance interview. No, it's a lot better than that. Mike Ring has got a lot of energy. He's a funny guy. We have a good time in this interview, so I'm excited for you to see it. And hopefully you will do what Brennan and I are about to do and open an account over at Old Glory Bank.
That's right.
Oh, there you go. You're not on. There you go.
Oh,
there it is.
He's always doing that.
Well,
to
no. Yes, so we're going to be opening an account there, especially because of their vision that's going to link finance, regular finance, TradFi, with DeFi, crypto, decentralized finance. Some pretty cool stuff there. I can't wait to get to that interview, so we will roll with that. When the interview's over, it's only about 25 minutes or so. We're going to break it up into 2 parts so we can get our sponsorships and all that stuff done, all of our bills paid. But also going to give you an update on Texas. The maps have been redrawn. Got a funny video out of D.C. An illegal alien pedo was arrested yesterday. It was crying like a little baby. And maybe a little bit out of California, too, a little situation out of California. They can't seem to answer questions about who drew the maps. Before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. It is Oscar Foxtrot, papafarms.com, OFPfarms.com, promo code SHAWN. You gotta love it. You gotta love OFP Farms. I do. Love my Goat Kisses lip balm, my favorite product from OFP Farms. You've also got the We the People soap, which... Oh, yes. That is right. That is the We the People soap. We love the We the People soap. It smells like the Constitution. It smells like the parchment that the Constitution was written on. Folks, I want you to explore the wonderful quality of Faith Farm and Freedom products with a special limited time 15% discount on your entire purchase. Take a peek at the lineup from OFP Farms, America's go-to soap company, famous for natural ingredients, the skin-loving perks of tallow and goat milk, and a big heart for farm-to-family skincare. Whether you're looking for gentle skincare or thoughtful gifts, these products bring together expert care and good values to make your daily routine better. Do not miss this chance to enjoy premium products that support your health and ethical choices for the entire family. Go to OFPfarms.com. Use the promo code Sean, SHAWN. Don't spell it wrong, or I'm going to hit you with a 30% tariff. OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 15% off and free shipping. No, it's not free shipping. I'm sorry. For 15% off, I'm getting my things mixed up. It's been a long morning. OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean for 15% off. That's OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 15% off. OFP, Oscar Foxtrot, papafarms.com, promo code Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November for 15% off. Pick up some OFP Farms products today. See some folks in there. Kalia in the chat saying, love our OFP Farms products. We love it.
Yeah, okay. Jackie, too. She says she used the magnesium lotion last night.
Jackie's loving the magnesium lotion. Very good. We love the people who love the things that they buy from our sponsors, right? OFP Farms, and they're great people, too. So they're great. As you see, Bad Moon was a beta customer, was an investor into the founding of Old Glory Bank, and will not give your info to the corrupt government. That is part of what we talk about in this interview coming up in just a second. All right, here we go. One more. Lima Foxtrot, Goldfer? No. Golf. Golf is G in the phonetic alphabet. One more thing. Let's get to a word from our friends over at Patriot Mobile. I know a lot of people are customers of Patriot Mobile as well. PatriotMobile.com/FARASH. PatriotMobile.com/Farish, FARASH. I know there's many choices, a lot of them, when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian, conservative, wireless provider. Now, they are not just leading the way in this beautiful economy, but Patriot Mobile also outgains the competition when it comes to technology. Patriot Mobile is one of the only carriers with access to all three of the major networks. That means exceptional nationwide coverage, along with the ability to have multiple numbers on different networks on a single smartphone. This is what we would call in the industry a game changer. This is a game changer. They also offer unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, internet backup, and so much more. Switching now is easier than ever. You can activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. You can keep your number. You can keep your phone. You can even upgrade your phone when you switch to Patriot Mobile. It's time to make the switch today. Go to PatriotMobile.com/Farish, FARASH. That is PatriotMobile.com/Farish, FARASH, or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code Farish. It is my last name. You see it right there on your screen. Promo code Farish, FARASH, for a month of free service. PatriotMobile.com/FARASH, PatriotMobile.com/Farish, or call 972-PATRIOT. Promo code FARASH. Without further ado, here is the first part of our interview with the CEO of Old Glory Bank. We're pushing back against debanking. We are banking on freedom, right? Pushing back against debanking. They will not turn over your information to the corrupt government, as Bad Moon says. Without further ado, here's the first part of our interview with Old Glory Bank CEO, the great Mike Ring. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I have an exciting guest coming on with us here on Ungoverned. I want to introduce you to the CEO and a co-founder of what I believe is a revolutionary new type of bank. This is Old Glory Bank CEO Mike Ring. Mike Ring joins us, and I'm sure you've heard the ads, and I'm sure you've heard the name because they're getting out there. But Mike Ring, CEO of Old Glory Bank, how are you? Welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, no, Sean. Thanks for having us on. A huge fan of your podcast and your show. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, one of the first things one of the first times I'd heard about Old Glory Bank, I think John Rich was talking about it. I know he's one of the co-founders with Larry Elder and Dr. Ben Carson and several other people. But, one of the reasons why I think it was so popular and onset and why it's so popular now is because of this element, this whole idea of debanking. I've been involved with a lot of January 6ers. We've had a bunch on the show. We've had people who are just absolutely, really, they've had their lives turned upside down. And a lot of the stories, some of them revolve around debanking. One in particular is Brandon Strzok, who lost a lot of he's the founder of Walkaway, lost a lot of the ability to do banking for himself and his business. And I believe it was either with Bank of America or Chase. So out comes Old Glory Bank, this major, foundational aspect of the parallel economy. But what went into the inception of Old Glory Bank? Was it primarily the debanking aspect of everything?
It really was, Sean, and you said it right. And we like to use the term freedom economy more than parallel because I think we're superior to the other economy. And so I use the word freedom economy. And we came out of the Summer of Love in 2020. One of my colleagues, Eric Olhausen, who's my co-founder, actually had the idea first and called me, and then it just took off because it was God's plan. He called me after the Summer of Love, everything that was happening. And we got to a point, if you remember in 2020 and going into the election, that if you flew a flag, you were a racist in America. And we were just so tired of America being attacked. And we just got together and said, you know what, this is a big idea. We should do a pro-America bank. The big banks are absolutely canceling Americans. People used to laugh at us when we came out and said that the big banks were canceling middle Americans for disagreeing with them on COVID or on the vaccine, or God forbid you were arrested or convicted for trespassing, you could not get a bank, i.e. our J6ers. And so we said, this is real. And the last thing that really put us over the edge was when Bank of America and some of these other big banks voluntarily gave data to the government, not under a subpoena. If you were in the Capitol in DC around January 6th, the government got your credit card, your debit card spend. And that was ridiculous to us. And we knew it was happening. Friends of ours who were in the Capitol that day got visits by the FBI. And we just said, you know what, we're going to do this. And so we were so blessed, right down the street, John Rich joined us, Secretary Carson, Larry Elder, and we just wanted to do something simple. And no one's ever going to accuse us of being a grifter. We're not just a bank that's tugging on your emotional heartstrings for being pro-American. No, we have the best products and the best services, and we have a solution for crypto that no one is even talking about that's out there right now that we're talking about. And so we have the best products. You can open an account in 8 minutes. We have things that you can't do in any other bank but Old Glory Bank. And so it came together. And thanks to folks like you, I think it's taken off. And we've grown from 10 million in deposits, a little bank we bought in Oklahoma, to now over 225 million. I humbly think we're the fastest growing bank ever.
Yeah, it looks like you're really exploding. And by the way, you had me at crypto, so you don't have to sell me anymore because of those who are watching right now understand how much I love crypto. I'm very bullish on crypto. I love to trade crypto. And it's been kind of contentious between crypto and the banks. And now here comes Old Glory Bank saying, hey, Sean, look, here's a bank that is really accepting and embracing of crypto. We'll get to that in a second. I see that Old Glory Bank, a lot of people ask, well, what do I do? There's no bank. I can't just walk into it, right? There's no tellers. So I see that it's referred to as a digital first bank. How does that work, right? Explain it to me like I'm a fourth grader. How does this work when it comes down to digital first and the fact that there's not tons of brick and mortar locations across the country?
Oh, Sean, that's such a layup, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason why we use digital first is because we actually have a beautiful brick and mortar branch. It's a
big, beautiful branch, right? So beautiful branch.
Yeah,
tremendous.
I wish I could do that. I just love that impersonation. If I could,
you said beautiful, so I had to jump in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If I could do that impersonation, it would be all over. I would never stop. And so we actually have a big, beautiful branch in Elmore City, Oklahoma, about an hour north of Route 66. If you're ever driving across America, stop up and say hello. We have beautiful people there working. It has been around for 120 years. We bought a great bank in Elmore City, and then we reflagged it, converted it over to do Old Glory Bank. We always wanted that versus a pure, what I would call online bank where there's no physical presence. I always wanted a place. And by the way, it won't be our only branch. We're also going to do one in Nashville, your hometown, pretty close to it, because we want to serve that great country music industry. And we're going to do one in the Villages. We have more people in the Villages of Florida than any other place in the country. We have customers in all 50 states, and we want to service them in the Villages. But everything you can do by walking into your branch, Sean, you can do online, and we make it easier. And one of the big things that we really solved that almost no other bank has figured out is, of course, almost any online solution, you can deposit checks, you can pay bills, you can move money around. We have a great wire portal, a great ACH portal. But what we really have figured out is depositing cash. That was something you couldn't do with typical online banks or digital first banks, but we have the best solutions called Old Glory Cash In. You can walk into one of 88,000 locations, places that we shop, Dollar General, Walmart, CVS, Kroger, our great truckers. We have a lot of truckers rolling across the Life's Highway. Using Old Glory Bank, they can walk into Pilots and Loves, walk up to the cashier. You'll get a one-time use barcode on your app. Flash that barcode, they scan it, you give the cashier your cash, and it's in your account in 7 seconds. Like no one else has figured this out but Old Glory Bank. And it's the last friction point to banking online is the cash deposit. And especially with no tax on tips, you should get some cash.
That's right. Look, I mean, think of it now, and I'll even put it in another situation. Let's say we go back to like the 2014 time period. I'm one of the leaders of Iran. I get one of those pallets of cash from Barack Obama. I could walk into a Love's or a Pilot and just hand it to the cashier. Boom, it's in my Old Glory Bank account.
And because you've got a truck, you can actually get it to the Pilot of Love's.
That's right. That's really cool. No, because that was one of the things. I always hear the commercials. I've heard about it for a long time, and I'm just like, yeah, but without a brick and mortar place, like what if I have to deposit cash, right? What if I go under my mattress and realize, oh, look at this, right? And I want to go deposit it in the bank, and this solves that problem. So that's really cool. So you have the app, you scan the barcode in any of these locations, and the cashier just takes the money, records a transaction, and it's in your account, just like that, without having to go anywhere.
You get a receipt just like you bought a stick of gum, and I will tell you that if I always say to our customers, while you're in there, because they're doing us this great partnership, please buy a stick of gum, please do something else. And when you're in the store, which is why they like our customers' business. And so do a little business, but you don't have to. If it's over $200 deposit, so save up to you get over $200, it's completely free. If it's less than $200, we charge you a small fee of $2.99. So I always tell folks, hang on to your cash, get over $200, deposit it at one of these stores. It's completely free. Of course, we have 40,000 free ATMs. But one of the things that's really important is that you think about why you walk into a branch. And when we did our research, there was really two reasons. One is deposit cash, and two was to get a cashier's check. Let's say you're going to buy a car. Let's say you're going to buy something else. We have a great service. Call up our wonderful customer service representatives. They're Monday through Saturday, 8 to 8 in Durant, Oklahoma, not offshore. They think like us. They believe what we believe. And we have a great program for, I think it's $29. We FedEx you a cashier's check. So we even solved the cashier's check, which is really the only other reason why you ever need to walk into a branch other than talking to someone beautiful.
Yeah, an all U.S. based support team too. It seems that that's always a big selling point, especially these days. There are other. You mentioned the freedom economy, which I like. I like that better than parallel economy too. Now that you've said it, I see there's a bunch of other services too. Old Glory Pay, which sounds like kind of like an alternative to PayPal, if I'm looking at that correctly, and then Old Glory Alliance, which is a GoFundMe type of service. And then this Old Glory Protect, $100,000 line of duty death benefit for protectors. Why don't we go down the line there and just give us a little bit of insight on what those services are?
Oh, thanks for that, Sean. So, listen, we don't have fancy consultants. We just listen to our customers. And one of the first things they said when we were putting this together is that we hate PayPal. And we do. They still, if you go to the PayPal terms and conditions, they still say you cannot use it to buy ammunition. You cannot use it to buy firearms. And that's on them. So we came up with Old Glory Pay, which is our version of PayPal, but we keep it closed loop, which means both parties have to bank at Old Glory Bank. So we always tell people, it takes you 8 minutes to open an account online. It's easier than opening up something with PayPal anyhow. Open up an account online at Old Glory Bank. It takes you 8 minutes. If you need to send money to someone, tell them to open an account at Old Glory Bank and only send it through PayPal. And here's why. You don't want PayPal knowing your transactions. You don't want PayPal giving those transactions to the government without a subpoena. You don't want PayPal potentially blocking that transaction because you may be buying crypto or you may be buying something in the Second Amendment space. In fact, speaking of crypto, and I know we may get to it later, we have been banking crypto since 2023, 2024. I've never listened to the regulators who said that you can't bank crypto. And I basically gave that the middle finger. As a lawyer, I knew what they were asking us to do was improper. All the other banks ran from it. We ran towards it. So we have been opening accounts for crypto companies, and people use Old Glory Pay today to move money on and off to their coin company on and off the blockchain. But that is nothing compared to what's coming, which I don't want to jump the list. The other thing we did is Old Glory Alliance. Our customers reached out to us and said, again, we don't have consultants. We just listen to our customers, our great customers. And they said, I'm tired of GoFundMe canceling conservative causes that they don't like. And so we said, okay, well, we did our own version. It's called Old Glory Alliance. And then the greatest of all, my dad was on the sheriff's department. In fact, there's his Billy stick. He keeps back in the old days. I'm former military. A lot of people involved. We love our volunteer fire departments. We said, if you're a protector, which is a big list, law enforcement, including federal law enforcement, all state, local, federal, firefighters, including volunteer fires, first responders, ambulance drivers, military, all branches, including Guard or Reserve, and because we love Tom Honan, U.S. Border Patrol agents. If you're a protector and you bank at Old Glory Bank, and by the way, our accounts are mostly free. They have plenty of free accounts, and you set up direct deposit, which is free. And God forbid you die in the line of duty, John Rich and I show up at your home and give your family $100,000, and it costs you nothing. So If you're a protector, why would you not want to bank at the bank that has the best products and services and actually love you? And if you're not a protector, why would you not bank at a bank that protects those who protect you? Like, we love law enforcement. We run to help law enforcement. We're not, defund the police people.
All right, we'll be right back with more from the interview with the CEO of Old Glory Bank. I see a lot of people interested in Old Glory Bank in the chat here. A digital first bank, which is an interesting concept. I was, my first thing was like, well, what about a branch? How do you deposit cash? What do you do with all these, what a traditional bank would be able to do for you? And Mike answered the question. Second half of the interview, by the way, high energy, a lot of fun. We kind of goof around a little bit. And then the embrace of crypto You know, I love me some crypto, right? I'm a huge believer in crypto. And Old Glory Bank, I'll tell you, it's something Brennan actually found it. She's like, did you know that they're doing this thing with the stable coins and crypto? I said, what? We got to what? I got to find out more about this. So we go into it, second half of the interview. Before we do that, I got to talk to you about our friends over at Armra Colostrum. It's tryarmra.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Folks, you know, we're always always on the lookout for ways to strengthen immunity, gut health, improve fitness and metabolism, and enhance skin and hair radiance. And that is what Armra Colostrum can do for you and more. Folks, colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life. Contains all the essential nutrients our bodies need in order to thrive. Colostrum can help you reactivate your hair growth, help your skin glow. It can help fortify your gut health, ignite your metabolism, and it can help fuel your fitness performance and your recovery. You can harness the close-guarded secret of elite athletes, long prized for its unrivaled ability to take performance to its apex with Armra Colostrum. Folks, Armra Colostrum, tryarmra.com/LFA TV. If you go to tryarmra.com/LFA TV, you can save 15% off of your first order. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV, tryarmra.com/LFA TV. See a couple questions. One in the chat saying, do they do CDs? I don't know. However, in the second half of the interview, Mike Ring says that he's extremely accessible. And I'm sure that you can contact him because this is pre-recorded. I can't ask them in real time. But you can always inquire among Old Glory, see if they do CDs. And if they do, maybe it'll be a good fit for you. I saw another person asking a question. T-Man 1202 wants to know about Patriot Mobile. Bad Moon may have answered. Bad Moon may have answered that CD question, by the way. Says they will be. Cool. T-Man 1202 wants to know about Patriot Mobile. When did he get away from Verizon? I know we have Wanda Wilson has Patriot Mobile, loves Patriot Mobile. She's had Patriot Mobile for a long time. And we'll see what her testimonial does. Remember, patriotmobile.com/FARASH if you are going to make the switch. We'd appreciate that. We'll get more from our interview with Old Glory Bank. Before we do that, I do have to get to a quick word from our friends over at My Patriot Supply. It is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. This is the free 4-week food kit promotion that they are running right now when you buy a 3-month emergency food kit. You know, this summer's not just been hot. It has been historic. Flash flood warnings are at a 40-year high, and it's not slowing down. Towns are underwater. Roads are completely washed out. And in every crisis zone, you get the same scene. Crowds standing in line waiting for bottled water, waiting for food, waiting for somebody to show up and save them. They tell you that help's on the way, but what if it's not? What if help takes days? What if help doesn't come at all? If you think the system is built to protect you, I got to tell you, it's not. They could barely handle one emergency, let alone dozens. Now, I don't know about you. I don't want to be the one stuck, caught empty-handed, waiting for help to arrive, waiting, and having no way to help myself. My Patriot Supply right now is giving away 4 weeks free of emergency food. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Find out how to claim your free 4-week food supply. You know how you do it? You get the 3-month emergency food kit. You get the free 4th month on top of that. 3 months for a free month. Get it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. That's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned to claim that free 4-week emergency food supply when you get the 3-month food supply, 25-year shelf life, 2,000 calories a day, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. When we come back from the interview, second half of the interview with Mike Ring, CEO of Old Glory Bank, we will get to some news out of Texas. We will get to some news out of Washington, D.C., a pretty funny video there. But until then, enjoy the second half of this short interview with the CEO of Old Glory Bank, the only bank that's pushing back against debanking out there right now, CEO Mike Ring. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I have an advice. Right. No, definitely not. It's a matter of fact, sounds like quite the opposite. And I do hear that you're a veteran, so thank you for your service. We all appreciate it. Everybody who's watching this appreciates the service you gave to our country. You mentioned that some of these big banks voluntarily turned over information about Americans to the government without a subpoena. And that resulted in a just hell for a lot of these families. I know that you've had a little bit of, let's say, disagreement with the CEO of Bank of America, Brian Moynihan, over debanking. And there's a $100,000 bet that's been floating out there that he is still not accepted. What can you tell us about that?
Maybe this is the show. Maybe that week. In fact, can you do me a favor, Sean, and say in Trump's voice, Moynihan, you're a weak CEO for me.
Yeah, we'll say it right now. We'll say Brian Moynihan, the CEO of Bank of America. You are a weak CEO. You're nothing like Mike Ring. He's a great guy. You're a weak CEO.
I saw that. Can I have the rights to that clip?
Yeah, I'll clip it and give it to you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
By the way, you're 100% right. I made a bet for him last week, and I'll tell you about it. And it's my money. It's not the bank's money. So what happened is that for years, I said this when we opened up, for years, the big banks have lied to us and said they weren't debanking Americans. And we knew it was a lie because every day we were getting more and more customers who had been debanked. And the J6ers were the worst that they debanked them. One of the things I always like to say is that if you were a Wall Street elite, you drive home and you get in a car accident because you're driving drunk and kill 3 people, no big bank is going to cancel you. But God forbid you trespassed on the Capitol, everyone's going to cancel you. So I've always hated the hypocrisy. The big banks have been lying about this, and now they've realized, okay, we got caught in the lie when Trump comes out and says, no, JP Morgan Chase, you totally debanked me and my family. And Brian Moynihan, you're a weak CEO. You wouldn't take my business. And that weak CEO blame the regulators. Now listen, no one beats on the regulators more than Mike Ring, because the regulators love to beat on me because I'm so outspoken and I'm crazy and I'm fighting for America and standing between America and the regulators. But
That's great.
All the years, no regulator has ever picked up the phone and called me or John Rich or Larry Elder or Governor Fallon or Sean Spicer is also on a board and said, oh, you can't bank Donald Trump. You can't bank Sean. You can't bank this person. And so I know if they didn't call me, and I'm the most outspoken person in banking, there's no way they called Brian Moynihan, one of the most powerful banks on the planet. So he is lying. And this was my bet to him. Come on any podcast, come on my podcast, and tell me the name of one regulator who told you couldn't bank Donald Trump. Because what I think happened is you thought MAGA was dead. You thought Trump was gone in 2021 and never coming back. And you made a business decision not to bank him. And by the way, I'm actually not opposed to that. If you want to this is America. If you don't want to bank Donald Trump, that's your business. But man the F up and tell the truth. Don't blame regulators that you couldn't bank him. So that's my bet. He's never going to cop to the bet because he is a weak CEO. Jamie Dimon is a weak CEO. He has lied about this. I have clips of him blaming regulators for debanking when we know it was him. We have USAA who debanked customers of ours. Wells Fargo's debanked customers of ours that we gladly take. Every one of the big banks that took money in the bailout in 2008 has debanked conservatives. It's a complete connection to it. It's tied to the Federal Reserve, which is the kingpin of the big bank cartel. And that is why they did it, because they just want to be on the good side of what they think is the political wins. And so I say, own it, man the F up, and America will forgive you. But until you do, bring your money to Old Glory Bank, because I tell you what, we will never go with the wins, no matter who's in office. And we don't care what side of the issue you are on. You could be a tree-hugging, baby-killing person, and we will take your business because we don't pick and choose winners. We are a bank for Americans who follow the law. And we don't mean silly things like trespassing. I mean, we follow the law like you don't commit terrorist financing and that stuff.
Right.
And we'll bank everybody. If you're a bank who doesn't want to bank conservatives or people who don't agree with the vaccine, who don't agree with COVID lockdowns, that's your choice, but frickin' own it.
That's it. Just be honest, right? I mean, I said to a lot of people, just be, you have the right to make your decisions, right? Your business decisions. But then when you get caught, because you thought it was a good idea to make the decision, then when you get caught, either own it and say, I'm sorry, right? Oops, it wasn't a great idea. We thought it was a good idea at the time. We don't think it's a good idea going forward. Or B, just say, yeah, we don't like him. We don't like you. And so be it. I have more respect for people who will just stand by their ideas than folks who will, tell me one thing by their actions, but then when I ask them the question, they give me a totally different response. It's cowardice. It's absolutely what it is.
Amen, brother. We should not reward these lying cowards. They lied to us for years, telling us they weren't debanking. They're lying to us now, telling us the reason why they wouldn't take conservatives' business. Do not reward these people. We have better products and services. You can get me on the phone. You can get me an email. My name is Mike Ring at oldglorybank.com is my real name and my real email. Mike Ring at oldglorybank.com. I read every email, return every, listen, we got millions of transactions we do every year. We got 55,000 customers across America. We occasionally don't get something right. And I would say, reach out to me because we'll fix it. It's like sometimes the food comes cold. We just want to fix it. And this is, you cannot get this at the big banks. You've got the passion and the access of a community bank, but our community is not based on a geographic location. It's based on America and the values. And even if you don't share our values, we will give you the same great service, and give us a try. You will not be disappointed. If you are, call Sean.
Don't call me. I'm not the CEO of the bank, although I'll tell you what, it sounds like a really awesome, not just an awesome company to do banking with, but, with you up there as a CEO, bold and just not afraid to speak your mind. Sounds like an awesome place to work too. I'll tell you what. But here's the other thing. One of the things I'm getting from this conversation is you said it a bunch of times and demonstrated it based off of your actions, how you're speaking about these issues, is you're not afraid, right? You're not afraid to take a leap and to kind of go into some uncharted waters, which leads me to one of my biggest, look, I was listening, Sirius XM Patriot 125, heard one of your ads. My wife is in the passenger seat, looks it up. She goes, did you know Old Glory Bank has got this like stable coin thing they're doing? I said, whoa, that's crypto. Tell me more. Then we get connected with you. So I'm going to let you tell me more. What is going on? What is the vision? Because I live and breathe crypto. I love it. I'm a huge believer in it. I've been outspoken about Bitcoin, for a very long time, crypto, how I believe cryptocurrencies, not CBDCs, which, are gone, or, we got the anti-CBDC Act, but that cryptocurrencies, blockchain, decentralized finance, etc., how I believed people on the right, conservatives, should embrace that type of thing. And some folks looked at me like I was cockeyed a little bit like, whoa, what are you talking about? I said, no, trust me. But you guys over at Old Glory Bank are doing something that nobody else is doing with crypto. On and off ramp, you're embracing it. You're giving it a big hug. It looks like a big, beautiful hug. We love it. Tell us what's going on with Old Glory Bank and their approach to crypto.
Thank you for that, Sean. As I mentioned earlier, we have always run towards crypto, and it's an asset class. Listen, you may like beachfront property, you may like gold, you may like crypto. We don't care. We're agnostic. We want to provide the best services. It just happens to be that digital currency is one of the easiest things to deal with, a lot easier than land and gold where you've got to figure it out. And so we have long taken the position, and listen, let's be real. The only reason why the Democrats and the big government didn't like crypto is not because they think it's inherently wrong. It's because they're losing control of transactions. And that's all it is. And I always say that if you're a law-abiding customer, what business is it of the Federal Reserve of who you pay? And why do you have to take a check through the Federal Reserve System? Why does a wire have to go through the Federal Reserve System? Why does an ACH have to go through Nacha? Why does a credit card payment have to go through the card network? So we've always been big fans of this. Well, what's really made it special is that we've been skunk working a project. So we already have a great basic product where crypto companies can bank with us. You can get money on and off using Old Glory Pay. It works great. We have thousands of people doing it every day, but we want to do something bigger for people, quite frankly, like me, not so much you. You are clearly an informed, I don't want to call you a crypto bro, but you are clearly an informed crypto bro. I'm kind of just a normal guy who wants to have the best technology and move money on and off without a lot of work. And so we already have a working front end. I don't want to plug my podcast, but I will. My podcast is PSL. It stands for Privacy, Security, and Liberty. No DEI at Old Glory Bank. It's PSL. My podcast is in all the podcast areas. So it's PSL. Episode 5, we announced the big unification of crypto with daily banking. And this is what it is. You're going to have a single dashboard, which we demonstrate. We have a single new dashboard that should launch Q1 of next year, where you can see all of your self-custodial wallet. Today, we're not taking the position of custodying your crypto. We're like, you self-custodian, you keep the keys. We don't want to be in that business today, although we're looking at some maybe third parties that will help us. But with your self-custodial wallet today, if you want to get some fiat off of the chain, let's say out of ETH, you've got to connect to someone. You've got to have that exchange. You got to figure out that whatever that price is they're going to pay you for it. There's going to be a charge. You then got to maybe use Plaid to move it to your bank, and it's probably 5 minutes of work, and you got to be pretty in tune. It all goes away with Old Glory Bank. You merely move. We have something called the OGB Freedom Address, and you merely move from your self-custodial wallet, the ETH, to our magic address, our Freedom Address, and we go and get the best spot price for you. And this costs you, a fraction of what it is. We immediately put the money into your account. And so literally within seconds, you'll see your crypto balance, which you've seen on the single dashboard, go down, your dollar fiat go up, and it takes like 7 seconds, however fast the blockchain updates it. And we have a working demo of that now, but we didn't stop there. The Genius Act confirms that banks are the best place to do stable coins. I believe crypto, ETH, all those solutions are great as an asset class, but not so good to spend on because the price could change before you go out and buy something with it. So hold it as an asset class. Stable coins, I think, are the future for remittances and payments. We're going to have our own Old Glory Bank stablecoin backed dollar for dollar, so you know what it's worth, and you'll be able to send it around the world. It's on the ERC20 standard, so it's completely exchangeable
Excellent.
any other place, and you'll be able to move that on and off. We're going to do stablecoins as a service. So let's say your show, which you cannot do stablecoins now under the Genius Act because you're not a bank or a regulated entity. Let's say your show, you want to have your own stablecoin. We would provide that service to you. So between the stablecoins, getting money on and off the blockchain, please go check out episode 5 of PSL. You're going to be blown away with the solution that's coming in Q1 of next year.
I'm already blown away, and I'm so excited. Because, look, here's the thing. I talk about this all the time. Certain mobile carriers back in the day did things that were unorthodox, and now you realize that there are no contracts and everything is unlimited. And so it takes a bold decision by, I'm not going to say an underdog, right? But by someone who does not care.
I own that. I got a chip on my shoulder. This
there you
big,
go.
Man, we
That's
are fighting
it.
Every day.
That's it, right? But by a business that is not afraid, or an operation or an entity that's not afraid to take that risk and do something bold that they know can further the space. And that's what you're doing, not just with crypto, but I believe with all of these services that Old Glory Bank is offering to prospective customers, right? So before we go, just give us the best way to become a customer over at Old Glory Bank. Another website's oldglorybank.com. But what do we do for those who are watching and listening right now who are like, I want to do banking with this bank? How do they go ahead and join real quick?
Thank you. And Chad, let me just go back to the crypto one more thing. So at the end of the day, I think the big banks are going to take years to catch up to us because they don't move at our speed. But at the end of the day, you've got to ultimately, I believe, to have seamless on and off blockchain, do business with the bank that you trust.
Yes.
And we have for years been out there in front honoring PSL, privacy, security, and liberty. So even if other banks catch up to us with our technologies, which I think will take them years because we have a head start on them, still, crypto and stable coins do you no good if you're not with the bank that you trust.
Good point.
So in the end, you've got to be with the bank that you trust. And the way you open an account is very easy, just like you said. oldglorybank.com. It literally takes 8 minutes. Now, by the way, and I want to apologize, we have been so overwhelmed. Like, I never knew the lightning in the bottle we were going to catch with our crypto strategy. We've opened up tens of thousands of accounts. We have been really overwhelmed. So if it takes more than 8 minutes, don't get upset at me. Your part will take like 3 or 4 minutes. But if we don't get right back to you, it's only because we are thousands of customers behind. We are so blessed right now with new customers. For business accounts, listen, we are the small business bank in America for digital first solutions. We literally have the best solution. We have the best retail as well, but business. If you're a small business, you can open an account in hours, not days. And we have such great relationship managers. You're going to love it. We have a great call center. So it's that easy. It's online and you have all the services and products you want. Plus we love you and respect your values.
Thank you so much. Mike Ring, CEO of Old Glory Bank. Open an account today, oldglorybank.com. Remember, if it takes a little longer than advertised, it's because everybody's doing it. All the cool kids are doing it. So get in there and open up that account, oldglorybank.com. Mike Ring, thank you so much for joining us. I cannot wait to have you back soon.
I'm holding you and your wife to account for this. You guys got to open one as well.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm telling you, I'm coming over because I want in on that crypto stuff, okay? Because that's my language, okay? That's what it is. So we'll be there too. And if it takes a little longer for us, I know it's because all the cool kids are doing it.
And by the way, if ever you want to jump the line, just send an email to mikering.com and I'll jump all my friends and friends of Sean to the front of the line.
Thank you so much, Mike Ring. We'll have you back soon. Thanks for joining us.
Friend.
All right, there's our interview with the coolest CEO in the history of banking. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of the guy who ran T-Mobile not too long ago. John Legere. Changed the game. You know why you have unlimited everything? You could thank John. You know why you have no contracts? You could thank John. T-Mobile did that way, way, way back. And this is, again, he's bold, not afraid to speak his mind, a lot of fun, great sense of humor, and he's about the right things. And I like what he also said. We are better than the other options, okay? The parallel economy, which I love, I love the terminology. But he says, no, we're better. We're the freedom economy. We're the freedom economy. You're going to succeed more on our side of things than it's not just parallel. Well, not equals. We're better than them. All right, oldglorybank.com. Check them out.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. For years, people wanted a parallel economy. Now we've got some stuff, and it's like, it's not going to be perfect.
No.
Nothing's perfect.
No.
But it's worth looking into and, giving a chance.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, the crypto side of things is what I'm very excited about. And as Stubbs pointed out in the chat, this guy knows his crypto, right? He knows his crypto. And by the way, I want to say something else in our chat. I see a lot of people in our chat that maybe I wouldn't have expected a few years ago who are crypto holders now, which is very nice to see red-blooded, smart Americans. That's not to say if you don't hold crypto, you're not smart, right? I'm not saying that. It's not for everybody. But it's nice to see that starting to kind of become a little more acceptable on the conservative side of things. I understand the wariness of CBDCs and all of these things. We just did the Anti-CBDC Act, so we're all doing well. That is oldglorybank.com. Mike Ring, super accessible. You heard him give the contact information on here. So check it out. Oldglorybank.com. See if it's a fit for you. It's going to be a fit for us.
Yeah.
We're going to have an account there. We're going to get one. And
I think someone asked, how do you get cash out? They do have ATMs around.
80,000.
If you go on their website, all of these questions are pretty much answered.
Yes.
A lot of the questions I'm seeing in the chat, their website answers most of them.
Yep. There's a lot of them in there.
Because we had the same questions and we looked it up on the website and we found them.
Yep. And there's like 80,000 free ATMs across the country.
Yeah.
And that whole deposit thing with the, you can go into a gas station, Love's, right? For example, if you're a trucker and you want to deposit $200 or more in cash, you hand it to the cashier, they scan your phone, and it goes into your bank account, so you don't need the physical branch. Pretty cool. All right, I want to pivot to some news, though. We do have some really good news out of Texas, right? The Texas House of Representatives has passed the new redistricting plan, which means we get to say bye-bye, I think it's possible, to Jasmine Crockett, Nurse Ratchet. Goodbye. Get out. She's being districted out of her current district. Her home is going to now fall into a Democrat-leaning district, so she may not lose her job officially, but it may be a little tougher for her. She may actually have to campaign. So Texas has redrawn the maps. Also, news on the redistricting front, Missouri is supposed to redraw their maps. I heard Florida is supposed to redraw their maps. I am all in favor of this. There are more red states that can gerrymander Democrat seats out of the House of Representatives. The Democrat states have already done this, and I have no problem whatsoever with Republicans playing the game like the Democrats, and even playing the game better than those Democrats. And speaking of Democrats who like to redistrict, it was California, right? It was greasy Gavin Newsom, right? Greasy Gavin, right? Is a greasy guy. It was greasy Gavin Newsom who in California said, this is rigging. They're rigging the election, and started tweeting like Donald Trump and all of this. He promised his people in California that if they were going to do redistricting, it would be a transparent situation. Well, here's one of these, spokespeople, representatives, etc., getting asked about the California redistricting effort that's going to be put up for a vote this year, which is, by the way, Newsom internal poll says it supports it. Politico polls say the residents of California don't support it. But here, take a look at this. This is just, they're lying to you, okay, out there in California. This clip should make the rounds. Do not vote in favor of the redistricting in California. Look, this is why. They're lying to you. They're not being transparent.
Who exactly is responsible for the maps? Who do we tell California voters drew these?
Well, so the maps have been posted on our website since 8 o'clock yesterday. The lines are very clear where people can go on and observe and see what we're doing. There are adjustments. Many counties and many districts are not getting touched at all. So,
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. My question is, who is responsible for the maps specifically? Who do we let California voters know are responsible for the maps that they are being presented with?
Yeah, I think it was a collaboration.
There was several people involved.
Who specifically?
I don't have the full list right here with me, but we can certainly get that to you. But these maps are transparent. They're there for voters to see.
The names of the people.
The names of the people, the organizations. I mean, Governor Gavin Newsom promised that no special interests or this would be transparent. This would not be done in a back room.
We're definitely.
So we're trying to ascertain in the very short amount of time that you have to deliberate this, who exactly are the maps responsible for?
There's a lot happening very quickly, and the folks that were drawing the maps went back to the Independent Redistricting Commission's testimony and what they heard during their time when they were deliberating this, and they themselves themselves ran out of time to do the work that they needed to do. And so we're basing these on the Voting Rights Act, and we're looking at really bringing the voters into this process, and that's why we're going to an election on November 4th, because at the end of the day, the voters' voice is what matters.
We're asking because voters back in 2008 and 2010 took the power away from politicians to draw maps because they did not like that it was an incumbent protection plan. So we just need to know. I mean, that's why we're asking.
These are definitely unusual times. We are no longer governing in a democracy. We're governing in an authoritarian government. We are seeing things that we care so deeply about in California. We have education, food for children, our immigrant community, our LGBT community. They are getting decimated by this administration. This is an all-out assault on California's democracy and the rights and values. So we have to move quickly, but we are bringing the voters on to this process. We're letting them know the maps have been posted on the website. We have this election on November 4th, and at the end of the day, the voters will decide what is important to them and whether they want to adjust these maps to give California the voice it needs in Congress.
But can any of you say whether or not were state lawmakers involved in drawing the maps? Any state lawmakers at all?
Not to my knowledge.
So then who adjusted them last night at 8 p.m.?
It was my understanding that they were by 8 a.m. They were out there.
No,
there was a collaboration, but we can get to the people that actually did that work.
So then why does the legislation say the detailed maps are prepared by the Assembly and State Senate elections committees?
So the reality is that it was a collaboration, and we can get those specifics, but I think what's most important is the maps are out there for people to see, to evaluate, to make a judgment on. The lines are the lines.
Madam Chair, but
so we are that
when you consume something, don't you want to know who makes it? When you are presented with something, don't you want to know where it's coming from? Don't voters deserve to know?
When I go to a restaurant, I don't need to meet the chef. I just enjoy.
Oh, Mike, what a snarky. There are so many words that we're just going to say Karen, okay? Because you know what it means, right? When I go to the restaurant, I don't want to meet the chef. You know what? That just means she got frustrated. She's lying through her teeth. Lying through her teeth. Period. Okay? She's lying through her teeth. Why can't you say who drew the maps? What are you hiding? I find it interesting, too, that the media, like those were regular just reporters with local media, were like grilling her. Grilling her. Yeah, a couple people got what I was, no, maybe not skank, but there was another one in there that, that lady, I want to go to the restaurant. I don't want to meet the chef. Oh, okay, fine.
She needs some eyelashes.
She needs something. She needs something. Yeah, she needs something. Yes, Redneck 1776 got the word that I was thinking of. Yes, it is. All right, I want to take a quick break. Then we got to get to this. I got a funny video in D.C. Wait until you see this guy. Got arrested, illegal alien. Before we get to him, let's get to word from our friends over at Silent. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, your phone, I love it. I do a lot of business on my phone. I'm on it a lot. Tracking the news, keeping in touch with everyone, staying connected, staying informed, but it's also a tracking device, right? It's a tracking device, and everybody's taking a piece of your data, whether it's government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals. They're all fighting, all of them, for a piece of your digital footprint, and they're not asking for it. They're just taking it. That's why Silent exists as a company. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, no breadcrumbs. It is the same tech trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now, it is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. Drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve and it's off the grid, completely silent, invisible to the outside world. They have their backpacks, their sleeves, their crossbodies. Silent's patented technology gives you control over your privacy. Just visit slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN, to save 15% off and to get free shipping on qualifying orders. That is Silent, slnt.com/Sean, to save 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. Protect your privacy, protect your family, protect your freedom, and silence the chaos. Silence, right? Silent.com/SHAWN for 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. Check them out today. Did you see this story in Washington, D.C.? Tarloff and all these people. Oh, this arrest, this arrest. They were too excessive with the guy. Listen to him scream. Yeah, let's listen to him scream, and then we'll tell you why we thought it was pretty good that he was in this amount of pain and distress. Watch this arrest of an illegal alien in Washington, D.C.
Yo no tengo nada, señor. Señor. Yo no, por favor. Yo no debo nada, papi.
You see him trying to run? Where do you think he was going? Wait, let's watch this part again. Okay, he's out. He's standing there. And he tries to run. Where do you think you're going?
Yo no tengo nada, señor. Señor. Yo no, por favor. Yo no debo nada, papi. Yo no debo nada. 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 Yo no debo nada.
This is worse than Democrats singing. Oh.
Yo no debo nada. Yo no debo nada. Yo no debo nada.
Oh.
Yo no debo nada. 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 Yo trabajo. Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Yo vengo de trabajar.
I heard Taco too.
Por favor. Yo vengo de trabajar.
He tried to run away.
Yo quiero estar con mi familia. Yo no soy criminal. Yo no soy criminal.
All right.
Yo no soy criminal. 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 Yo quiero estar con mi familia.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Stubbs is saying Taco Bell. Yeah.
Hermano, vámonos, papito. Llévame, hijo. Ya. Me está lastimando. Me está lastimando. Me está
Wants a banana.
lastimando.
And she's screaming. Just reminds me of,
Everybody, ooh, yeah.
a woo. A woo.
That was a good catch, though. That one guy that really did catch
They
him.
got him.
It was a boom.
But boom, and sign him up.
He said, oh, you thought?
New York Jets need a defensive end. Right there, he wasn't getting through there. By the way, the reason why I don't feel bad, and this is what's great, because Tarloff and all these, the Queen of the Karens, all these other people online were like, oh, this is inhumane the way they treat him. Listen to him cry. Yeah, listen to him cry. Listen to him cry.
Freedom Former Growing was smart. She said, keep on yelling. We know you can breathe.
That's it. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You can scream, I can't breathe. We've seen that before. Here we go. This is why I think it was okay. Right? Because it turns out that illegal alien, they called him, oh, he's just a family man.
Howling at the moon, Lord.
Right? Oh, it turns out he was an illegal alien wanted for child sex assault. Ah!
Imagine that.
Ah!
Imagine that.
No way! Yeah, he's wanted for child sex assault. Illegal alien. This illegal alien from Mako was previously arrested in January of 2024 in Fairfax County for aggravated sexual assault of a child under 13 years old. Cry, you little bitch. I don't care. Should have broke his arm. He should have. You know what? Pick him up and throw him down again. I don't care. I have no sympathy for somebody who does that to a child under 13 years old. What was that child? I wonder if that child was crying.
Oh, yeah.
Under 13 years old. And the stupid media. Oh, he's just a family man. You know what? Here's the new rule. Here's the new rule. If the media says that an illegal alien that is being arrested is being wrongfully arrested and is a family man or just some little, just a Maryland guy, they're probably either some version of a pedophile, a gang member, or a violent criminal. That's the new rule. Because this jerk who was screaming like a little baby on the floor after getting thrown to the ground like the piece of trash that he is. That guy was arrested in January of 2024 for sexually assaulting a child under the age of 13.
Chop it off.
Chop it off.
Chop it off.
Send him home and send what you chopped off to another country.
Make him eat it.
You can do that too. Brennan's really getting brutal today.
It makes me so upset.
They want to cry about, oh, this is not humane. No, you shouldn't have treated him like, you know what? He shouldn't have treated a 13-year-old like that. Shouldn't have been in our country to begin with. So, you know, when you throw a piece of garbage like this on the floor and he's screaming out and he's crying, listen, I don't take any pleasure in it, but I'm not gonna sit there and shed any tears for this guy. And he didn't. Are we at 700?
Yes.
Okay. I see Bad Moon's having like a conniption. He's just.
You have your own mo to honk. You know that, bag.
He's over there. He's just throwing letters and mo and honk that hog and all this. He just wouldn't stop. It was great. Yeah, feed him to the alligators. There's Wahoo. There it is. Got him. Wahoo. Got it. Yeah. I have no sympathy for this guy. None. And he tried to run away. Where'd you think you were going, Tubby? Huh? Tubby? Where'd you think you were going? Screaming on the floor. Piece of garbage. One more time. Look. Yeah, where you going? Where you going? Down. That's where you're going. You know what it sounds like? Yeah, he sounds like the rooster. You know why? Because nobody is above the law. Including fat Mexican pedophile in Washington, D.C.
He was talking about tacos down there, too. I heard
something
the word
about taco. You always hear Mexicans say taco.
Taco time.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Unbelievable.
Taco time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Redneck says, watch it with the husky jokes. You may offend me. Listen, I don't know if that means Redneck's a little large and in charge, or if that means he has a husky. I do like husky dogs.
Well, we like conservatives that are chubby. I don't have a problem with chubby, actually. I think it's kind of cute.
Right?
So.
Oh, right? Remember this?
Everybody, ooh, yeah.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview with Mike Ring, Old Glory Bank. Check them out, oldglorybank.com, oldglorybank.com. Jeremy Harrell coming up next here on LFA TV on Rumble, rumble.com/LFA TV. Check out the LFA TV store before you sit down and strap in for 3 hours of Jeremy Harrell. LFATV.us, LFATV.us, LFATV.us. Click on that Visit the Store tab. You'll see everything there is to offer. Jeremy is coming up next, right here on LFA TV, as President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we will just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your day. We're back tomorrow. Call second half. Until then, good night, everybody. Bang gavel. Jeremy up next. Thank you for your attention to this matter.